and electric wire. Beyond lies a huge SS zone with over 220 buildings, including storerooms, workshops, living quarters, and even a swimming pool. Stationed here are some 3,000 men from the Camp SS, a volunteer unit with its own ethos, which puts prisoners through well-rehearsed routines of abuse and violence. Deaths are few and far between, however, with no more than 4 fatalities in August 1939. As yet, there was no urgent need for the SS to build its own crematorium. This was Camp SS Terror at its most controlled, a far cry from the lethal chaos of the final days in spring 1945, and also from Dachau's ramshackle beginnings back in spring 1933. Dachau, March 22, 1933. The first day inside the camp is drawing to a close. It is a cold evening. Less than 2 months after the appointment of Adolf Hitler as Chancellor set Germany on the road to the Nazi dictatorship. The new prisoners, still in their own clothes, are having bread, pâté, and tea inside the former office of a dilapidated munitions plant. This building had been hastily converted in recent days into an improvised camp, cordoned off from the rest of the deserted factory ground, with its crumbling structures, broken concrete foundations, and derelict roads. In all, there are no more than 100 or 120 political prisoners, largely local communists from Munich. After these men had arrived on open trucks a little earlier, the guards, some 54 men strong, announced that the captives would be held in protective custody, a term unfamiliar to many Germans. Whatever it was, it seemed bearable. The guards were not Nazi paramilitaries, but amiable policemen, who chatted with the prisoners, handed out cigarettes, shared their food, and even slept in the same building. The next day, the prisoner Erwin Kahn wrote a long letter to his wife to say that all was well in Dachau. The food was good, as was the treatment, though he was getting restless waiting for his release. "I am just curious how long this whole business will last." A few weeks later, Kahn was dead, shot by SS men after they took over the prisoner compound. He was among the first of almost 40,000 Dachau prisoners to perish between spring 1933 and spring 1945. 3 days in Dachau, 3 different worlds. In a span of only 12 years, the camp changed time and again. Inmates, guards, conditions, almost everything seemed to alter. Even the site itself was transformed. After the old factory buildings were demolished and replaced by purpose-built barracks in the late 1930s, a veteran prisoner from spring 1933 would not have recognized the camp. So why did Dachau transform from its benign beginnings in March 1933 to the SS Order of Terror, and on to the catastrophe of the Second World War? What did this mean for the prisoners inside? What drove the perpetrators? And what did the local population outside know about the camp? These questions go to the heart of the Nazi dictatorship, and they should be asked not just about Dachau, but about the concentration camp system as a whole. Dachau was the first of many SS concentration camps. Established inside Germany in the early years of Hitler's rule, these camps soon spread. During the Nazi conquest of Europe from the late 1930s to Austria, Poland, France, Czechoslovakia, the Netherlands, Belgium, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, and even the small British Channel island of Alderney. In all, the SS set up 27 main camps and over 1,100 attached satellite camps over the course of the Third Reich, though numbers fluctuated greatly, as old camps closed down and new ones opened. Only Dachau lasted for the entire Nazi period. The concentration camps embodied the spirit of Nazism like no other institution in the Third Reich. They formed a distinct system of domination, with its own organization, rules, and staff, and even its own acronym. In official documents and common parlance, they were often referred to as KL, from the German Konzentrationslager. Guided by SS Chief Heinrich Himmler, Hitler's main henchman, the KL came to reflect the burning obsessions of the Nazi leadership, such as the creation of a uniform national community through the removal of political, social, and racial outsiders, the sacrifice of the individual on the altar of racial hygiene and murderous science, the harnessing of forced labor for the glory of the